This review has been brought to you in part by Main Irish Airsoft.
Hey, welcome back to Oddie's Airsoft. We're going to continue our gun pawn venture with this piece. This is the VFC made HK 416D. And this is obviously, as I said, made by VFC. VFC are absolutely brilliant at making quality guns. It's under the Umarex umbrella again. Thank you, Umarex, for making such good shit available to us little minions. But what we have here is the 416, 417 platform are seriously nice bits of kit. Obviously, the 417 is designed for a 7.62 round capacity, whereas this is a 5.56. And the HK 416 range has a very devout band of followers, but this has just upped the game slightly by making it a gas blowback. Now it comes with some really nice features. Number one, it's a 1-to-1 replica of the real steel version. It has all the trademarks that you would find on the real steel HK. And I have to say, this is probably one of my favourite platforms of guns. And for something that's just out the box, yeah, it's a really nice piece of kit. So let's get into looking at the externals. Full metal barrel here, flash hider as standard. Coming down to the RIS rail system. The RIS rail is actually a two-piece RIS rail, but it's set in one typical 416, 417 straight one long piece here, very monolithic in its design. And I have to say, it's a really nice feature. I really like it. It's a great platform for putting on numerous different sights. It comes with these two sights here. These are the HK sights, and if rumours are to be believed, basically these are the real steel sights that have been utilised. Coming down to the buffer tube is all metal. The receiver, upper and lower, is metal. The actual pistol grip is that polymer, as along with the polymer stock. Stock has obviously a very nicely ergonomic recessed point for pushing in to allow you move the stock up and down. It's a 5-position stock. And it's nice and has that very sort of typical 416, 417 bulbous stock end, which really I find very comfortable when I'm actually just getting myself into the firing position. Now, gas blowbacks are temperamental feckers at the best of times, but what they've done is they've redesigned the internals for the 2014 model. And this is said model. Now, if you want to get in to adjust the hop unit, unlike usual access, which is through the port here, you have to fiddle with it. It's a bit like the MP5 that we've just looked at. The MP5 is a cracking piece, but as I said, the actual access to the hop unit is a little bit more awkward. Basically, what you've got to do is pop the pin, take out the barrel here, take that out completely, which will then give you access in here to a tiny little grub, which has to be utilized. You have to get it via this little stick. So once you have the hop set, then you basically have to pull out the charging handle, pop the tube back in, push it all the way back, make sure it's flush. But before I lock it up, I just want to show you the internals here have been changed for the 2014 version. What they've done is they've taken out the hammer, the firing pin, the mag catch, and they used to be made with that real sort of cheap alloy, very Chinese speciality. What they've done is they've replaced them with full steel. The old system, what would happen is after about 5 to 10 mags had gone through, the hammer and the pins would just wear, and you'd have loads of bits breaking, failing, mushing up and grinding. That's not the case anymore. This steel stuff won't go anywhere. So it's a matter of then just closing it back down, locking it down tight, Make sure your firing pin's back in. And she's ready to go. So as I said, it's a bit of a fiddly operation for the actual hop unit, but the great thing about it is the range out of the box of these guns are phenomenal. They're anywhere between 50 and 60 meters, which is fantastic. Once you set the hop, unlike a lot of hops with the gas blowback range, look, this is similar to the MP5 that they've done, that we just looked at in the last video. This, once it's set, doesn't come undone, no matter how many mags you put through. So to put the magazine in, you have to be very mindful that this is a real steel style version. In other words, it carries its business out like a real steel piece. So you have to be mindful. It's not like a normal AEG. There's a protocol to be followed, and if you don't follow it, you're going to break your gun. First of all, you need to pull back your charging handle and then lock it into position with the bolt catch. The bolt catch is just here on this side, and once it's locked back, you can then take out a magazine or put it in. Once the magazine is in, make sure you push the charging handle forward, hit the bolt release, and there you are. You are ready to fire. When you want to take out the magazine, pull back, hit the catch, dump your mag, and you then are ready to reload the next magazine. 35 rounds per mag, which means that this is a specialist piece. Filling up is very, very simple. 3-second bursts for about, leave it for about 2 or 3 seconds, and you want to do about 3 of these, and then 1 more, and that's her ready to go. There are no BBs in this. I'm in a studio. I know exactly how the piece is put together, so I'm safe. But if you are plinking around or toying with your AEG, make sure you've got some eye protection on. You never know when a BB has been sort of jammed down the barrel and can come out at any given stage. So you want to engage basically your bolt catch now. She's ready to fire, and then it's a simple system of then engaging your safety into single mode. Now, because it's a 35 round mag, let's face it, full auto is a luxury that you're never really going to visit that much, because it's just such an expensive waste of BBs, seeing that there's only 35 per mag, and a 3-second round burst on the actual mag will probably empty half of it. So you really need to be sort of thinking that this is a milsim piece. It's going to be utilized by guys who you know are quite happy to plink away on single shot. The range is fantastic, and without any tinkering out of the box, the accuracy of this is savage. So it really does make a very, very nice piece for that milsim style of game. Magazines are not going to be cheap either, so that's to you kind of factor that into your cost. Because there's only 35 rounds, you're probably going to need a minimum of anywhere up to 10 mags. That's going to be an expensive outlay, so be aware of that. Now the great thing is, per gas fill, similar to the MP5A3 that is made by VFC for Umarex that we looked at in our last video, same sort of deal is, if you are on single shot, you'll get about 2 mags of BBs for 1 fill of gas. If you're heavy on the trigger with full auto, you're only going to get the 1 emptying before you need to refill with the gas. The system that they've employed internally is the same VFC quality as the MP5A3, in as much that it will work this gun in very, very cold temperatures without really much noticeable loss of distance or performance due to the green gas. Green gas notoriously is crap in bad weather. That's not the case with this particular piece of airsoft weaponry. I use the weaponry in a light term because we know these are toys. But as I said, it's a really fine piece. If you're into your 416 platforms, your 417 platforms, and you are looking for a gas blowback, this is super sexy. Now, what I will say is, it shoulders nicely, and when you hear that, that real sort of, it's a real crisp, and the whole gun really does move. It's just real, it's lovely. Going to full auto though, it becomes a thing of beauty. I mean, that's savage. And then back to safety. I mean, look, it's a very niche market. More and more guys, when you start off airsoft first, you do sort of spray and pray a lot, and you know, there's a lot of tracing BBs in, and kind of, it's the way we all start off the game. But the more mature players, they tend to start working out that there is no real skill factor in spraying loads of BBs and hoping something hits. Taking that one shot where you do take out your opponent, where you've put yourself in a real good position and you've used a bit of stealth, it makes it for a much more enjoyable game. A lot of guys are deciding to rack out with these gas blowbacks. They want the realism and they want the actual feel of a one-to-one replica. As I said, this is a stunning made gun. From the chop end right all the way down to the back end, it just oozes quality. I know guys who have the VFC made HK range already. Chris in MIA already owns one of these, and he also has pretty much every other HK gun there that's been made by VFC for Umarex, and he raves about them. And for Chris to rave about anything, he's seen it all, done it all. That's testament to the gun, and for me, that's a thumbs up straight there. So as I said, if you're looking for that very different kind of piece, that's going to be the gooch factor on the battlefield, check this out. Umarex, thanks again. I love Umarex because they seem to be able to get the very best of gear out there. This is high-end stuff, like the last one that we looked at. It is the high end of the market from before you go into custom builds. To be honest with you, I don't think there's anything really to touch these on the market, and I can see a lot of guys wanting to own one of these. So again, thanks to Umarex for getting this to us. Thanks to Main Irish Airsoft for the lend of this for the review. And hopefully we'll see you in the next video, which should be coming up soon enough. See you later, guys.
This review has been brought to you in part by Main Irish Airsoft.